Welcome to the Stronger Tides Podcast, the podcast for small business entrepreneurs and corporate executives to learn more about increasing their client or employee retention through a group cruise program. Ready to drop anchor? Here's your host, travel advisor Rita Perez.
Hi. Welcome back to the podcast. This week's theme is another Destination Showdown. So this week I'm going to compare the Eastern versus the Western Caribbean. I feel like both of these options are probably the most accessible, especially if you are working on a tighter corporate budget. And this is not going to work only for like a corporate retreat, but this is also going to be for like an influencer type trip. So if you're a small business owner who is an influencer also, this is going to be a great trip to be able to put an educational program together and get to know other people who are in your community. So I feel like going to the Caribbean is going to be good for both folks, both our small business entrepreneurs and our corporate executives. So let's just go ahead and get started. So when I say the Eastern Caribbean, I am talking about ports on the Eastern Caribbean side. Yep, you got me. That's as good as the jokes are going to get, peeps. So this is going to include a combination of St. Thomas, St. Martin, Tortola, Bahamas, Puerto Rico, St. Kitts, and a few others along the U.S. Virgin Islands and the British Virgin Island regions. Not an entire cruise is going to incorporate all of them unless it's an extended cruise. So for like a longer educational program, 7 nights is probably going to be really good. You can probably hit up 3 or 4 of these ports. For a 3 or 4 night, you're probably just going to be hitting up the Bahamas, maybe 1 or 2 ports in the Bahamas. Now, the Eastern Caribbean, I would say it's best for our history buffs. So if you're looking to learn more about the early colonialism in the Caribbean, as well as the famous stops of the Caribbean pirates, Eastern Caribbean is calling you. Second, avid shoppers looking for the best deals. So St. Thomas is actually one of the well-known ports for the best pricing on jewelry. Hint, hint. Yeah, you're not going for that, but you should bring home a souvenir either for yourself or for someone back at home. And then Eastern Caribbean, I would say, is third best for the beach buffs. Gorgeous, beautiful, turquoise water. I'm just imagining it now, and especially having been cooped up so long thanks to the world events, I am really dying for some turquoise water and some creamy, creamy sand. So beach buffs that are looking to get their tan on the beaches, this is for you, as the beaches on this side of the Caribbean tend to be a little less volcanic. And also the photographers who are trying to grab the beautiful beach shots of the vistas, this is for you. I'm specifically thinking about Megan's Bay in St. Thomas. Gorgeous. Now, if nothing on the Eastern Caribbean side has intrigued you, maybe a Western Caribbean cruise is more up your speed. So ports on this itinerary are going to include any combination of going to Cozumel, which is in Mexico, Grand Cayman, Jamaica, Belize, and Honduras, just to name a few. So this side is best for our animal lovers. So if you're looking to get up close and personal with some of your favorite animals, Western Caribbean is where it's at. Make sure that wherever you go, if you are an animal lover and an animal advocate, go to places that have been vetted for their treatment of animals. Grand Cayman has an actual stingray city. So if you have never fed the stingrays or been up close with them, this is a great place. They also have a cute little turtle farm that you can visit. I haven't been there yet, but I just see the awesome pictures that come from out of there, and it's still on my list. Hey, interested in getting an actual numbers comparison of a land retreat versus a cruise retreat? Honestly, when I was putting this document together, I couldn't even believe the great difference between the numbers. Visit StrongerTidesPodcast.com to be added to my weekly email list and get the download now. Back to the show. Snorkelers are also going to get a richer experience on this side because all of the beautiful coral and the tropical fish. So, fun story is that 2 years ago, I had gone snorkeling the first time. No, this is the second time. So I went snorkeling in St. Thomas. It was the first time in St. Thomas. And so we did a little shipwreck, and I was totally underwhelmed because having snorkeled previously in Cozumel and just seeing the beautiful coral and the different colors, it was a total difference. So if you're going snorkeling, I would definitely recommend Western for you. The eastern side may have the beautiful vistas above the oceans, but unfortunately not below. And the third group that I would say the Western Caribbean is best for are the archaeological avids. So if you're looking to explore ancient Mayan ruins, this side is for you. Now, would a history lover still be able to enjoy heading to the west? Of course, because of the Mayan ruins. And a snorkeler will still also enjoy heading to the east because there are many famous shipwrecks, like I mentioned. Also, Tortola has some pretty good snorkeling. Now, food and beverage lovers alike will be able to get their fill across the Caribbean as well. I can't really say one or the other is better because each side has differences and they're both delicious. So my heritage, my parents were born in Puerto Rico. I was born here stateside. Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory, so you are a U.S. citizen if you did not know. So I grew up eating conch. I grew up eating, delicious mangoes. I grew up eating like rice and beans, all the delicious fried delicacies of the Eastern Caribbean. That is what I know and love. But that's not to say that I won't go ham on the delicious tacos and margaritas over on the Western Caribbean side. And I know many of you will go ham with me. So I think what especially stands out to me between the two is the amount and variety of excursions there are in the West compared to the East. And that is simply due to landmass, as the East is filled with smaller islands, and in the West, the islands are larger, or you will be visiting parts of Central America. This is what, for me personally, makes the Western Caribbean the winner in this showdown, as I like to be able to try many different experiences when I visit or revisit the islands and the locations. So, is the Western Caribbean a winner for you? Or are you like, no, I like everything on the East side. I know everybody is so different and has different reasons. I love getting into conversations with some friends and clients who have sailed, and when I ask them, okay, so your next cruise is coming up, where do you want to sail to? And everybody has a hard definition of what their favorite is and where they want to go to. So if I missed anything that you love about either side, please let me know. I have been your host, Rita Perez.
Thanks for joining us on the Stronger Tides podcast. Please subscribe to our podcast. And if you found value in this show, we'd appreciate a rating or a share with your colleagues. Find us on social media at Rita Ventures Group Cruising and online at ritaventures.net. Until next time, happy sailing.